I want to welcome everybody to our May kind of kickoff call. We're talking about Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? I'm going to grab my notes over here and um, and talk a little bit about how to grow your business in this beautiful time of year where everything is just exploding in nature. Flowers are blooming and trees, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The pollen is getting to me in my eyes, but anyway, other than that, I absolutely love it. And nature is such a great metaphor for our businesses. Just as nature follows seasons, so does success. And spring's a great time for planting and nurturing and blooming, and your sales process is no different. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like excited, more invigorated in the springtime. I think it's just part of it. Like life is just it's a period of renewal. So it's a great time to take a look at your business practices, and see where you can make some changes to get better results. So, success begins with intention. Gardens don't happen by accident. We know that. We also have to have patience for the process. And that's what I find this day and age more than any ever before, because everything is so instant. We live in an instant gratification society. And so, very often, people who come into a direct sales business don't have the patience just to see this season through, to allow the process to happen. They want success right now, and if they don't get it, they say things like, "Well, I'm just no good at this," or "This isn't the company for me. I'm going to change companies," right? But until you change your practices, it doesn't matter what company you're with, you're going to get the same results because companies, by and large, is just geography. If you don't change anything about how you run your business, nothing's really going to change in your results either. So commit to the process and be consistent in your business. And it's one of the hardest things to do is to consistently show up and consistently work at it. So let's talk about preparing our garden for success this spring. We have to start by preparing the soil. We need to create an environment that is healthy for growth. I saw a great quote the other day, and it was, if a flower doesn't bloom, we don't fix the flower, we fix the environment in which it's expected to bloom. And that, for us, really starts with our mindset. This is what holds us back more than anything else in the world, is what's going on in our minds. So we've got to create the right positive mindset and really envision the garden that we're growing. What do you want this business to look like? And get excited about that. I'm very big on dream boards, and affirmations. And a dream board is a physical reminder of what you're building. So spend a little bit of time envisioning what you're building. What does your garden look like? And then we need to plant seeds, and we plant a lot of seeds. We can do this in person everywhere you go, the doctor, the grocery store, out to dinner. I always talk to my waitress, my server. Being prepared for that conversation is important too. And I'm not talking about having samples on hand and catalogs to pass out. I'm actually going to tell you not to do that. I'll get to it, but be prepared for conversation. Look for ways to turn it towards your business. This takes practice. You can listen for cues, and people will often just give you an opportunity to share what you do. But if you're not thinking about it, if you're not intentionally planting seeds with people, you'll completely miss those cues, and it'll just go right over your head, and you'll miss that opportunity. You can create opportunities in conversation to talk about what you do by asking others what they do. The natural thing when someone asks you what you do, and when you ask them what they do, the natural thing is for them to turn it back to you and ask you what you do, right? It's like you ask a kid, what grade are you in, or where do you go to school? And they tell you. So once you've created this opportunity or listened for the opportunity, you need to have a really great answer for what it is that you do. And I find very often people say, "Oh, I'm with XYZ company," which really doesn't do anything for them. The question needs to be answered in such a way that makes them think, "Ooh, I need that," or "Ooh, I want that. I want to know more about that." So I'll give you a Pampered Chef is one of my favorite things. Like, I'm a cooking junkie and a Pampered Chef junkie. So that's one of my favorites. So I might say, if I was with Pampered Chef and someone said, what do you do?" I would say, "Oh, I help busy families get home cooked meals on the table in 30 minutes or less as a kitchen consultant." wow, I need that. I need home cooked meals on on the table for 30 minutes or less. And a kitchen consultant. Oh, how does that work? Something that makes them want more information. And then you could say, oh, I'm with Pampered Chef. Are you familiar with it? Don't ever say that your business is something that you do on the side. Very often people say, I work at the bank and on the side, right? Well, you're not getting paid to tell people that you work at the bank. So talk about what you can make money off of. So practice that. That's sometimes people call it an elevator pitch. I don't love that verbiage, but a short, concise answer to that question that makes people think, wow, I need more of that. And we can talk about this more at the end. Exchange info with them. Forget catalogs and business cards. When the card is extended, the conversation have ended and you will not get their information. Text them standing right there. Say, let me text you my info and my website. Great. What's your phone number? What's your name? Have them type it in. Now you have a connection and a way to follow up. The fortune is in the follow up. If you don't have a way to do that, you're just really spending a lot of time for zero yield, handing out catalogs and samples and things with your name on it. They're not going to call you. One out of 1,000 will call you. But when you have the information, now you have 100% chance of being able to follow up with them. And follow up is so important in this business. And sometimes we're a little uncomfortable with it. We don't want to feel pushy, but they wanted the information. They asked for it. Online, you can do kind of the same thing. You can create posts that ask great questions. There's so much engagement and games and silly stuff like that, and that's fine. It's good for the group algorithms to play great games, but you want really meaningful engagement with people. So you could say, how many nights a week do you cook? Or who normally does the cooking in your house? Or who's the grill master? Like if we're Pampered Chef or some kind of food company, how many steps in your skincare routine? It's just a great one. Hey, girls, I'm wondering how many steps in your skincare routine? People love to talk about it. Do you worry about chemicals in your cleaning products? That's a great one if you're with Norwex or some of the green clean companies out there to really get that going. You could even say, are you aware that, there's, I don't even know what the statistic is these days of the thousands of chemicals that we allow in products here that are not allowed in Europe. So good questions that get conversation going. Stunning before and afters on your profile where people can see it, not in a group. You can do it on your page if you want to, but your profile has the best visibility of anything. So get used to having these conversations on your profile, your personal profile, and set it to public. I'm having trouble with my P's today. Um, you want lots of people to comment and ask for more information. So you can look for opportunities to share solutions too. Like I was speaking before we got started, it's allergy season and my eyes are puffy. It's driving me crazy. So if someone says that, oh, these allergies are killing me. I love the flowers, but eyes are puffy, it's driving me crazy. You can come on to that comment. This is why it's important to scroll the feed a little bit, not for all the negative stuff. There's so much stuff out there. But anyway, looking for opportunities just to have conversations or start conversations. And so I might say, for the puffiness, I'm not going to just be bam, like, oh, you need my product and here's my website. I'm going to share some tips. And so here's two great tips for puffiness in the morning is gentle tapping because that's a fluid buildup that happens under the eyes, particularly as we sleep. So gentle tapping like this, maybe 3 minutes or so. You can do it like this on both sides. And then also something cool to put on the area. I like to use the back of a spoon. You can get little stones. There's all kinds of things that you can use, but everyone's got a spoon. You just hold the spoon there and the puffiness will go down. And then I would say, and I have this amazing eye cream or these, amazing eye pads that I put on that I couldn't live without. Well, that's going to cause interest. She's going to want to know more about that. I'm going to want to know more about that, right? Because you're solving a problem that she said, I have this problem. And you came in, you didn't lead with product. You led with one tip or two tips that will help. And there's always a tip for everything that will help. And then you mentioned that you have this great product. She's going to ask you, oh my gosh, what's the eye cream and where do you get it? And then you can have a conversation from there. So that is how we plant seeds, and we're constantly planting seeds. You just want to see yourself with an imaginary seed pack in your back pocket, just planting seeds everywhere you go. And then we need to follow up, right? Our fortune's in the follow up. So we need to water, we need to nurture that relationship, nurture that connection that we have made. And you can do this in a variety of ways. It depends on what kind of product you have, but do you have samples that you could send? That's a great thing to drop a little happy in the mail to someone. Can you offer a one-on-one consultation? Do you do makeup or skincare or something that you could have a one-on-one consultation either in person or over Zoom? The technology these days allows us to do things that we couldn't do, 10 years ago, and really build relationships through video that you used to, you could only work your area, your physical geographical area, I guess. And now the world literally is your territory. You can invite them to an event. Let's say you're hosting your own. I would do my own event once every 3 months and invite everyone I know and ask them to bring a friend. If you end up with 4 or 5 people, that's fine. That's 4 or 5 people that you got together with in front of, eyeball to eyeball. And if they bring someone, they're introducing you to new people too. You can definitely invite them to your Facebook group, and we want to make sure that that's a good group with good information. Your page is good too. Connect on Facebook. My husband teases me that I can't go to the ladies' room without coming back with a new Facebook friend. So get in the habit of really connecting with them as many ways as you can. You already got their phone number, hopefully, if you followed the earlier step. But stay in front of them. And you want to share solutions and specials with them, but you really have to get to know what they need, what they're looking for, and what's important to them. And so a conversation really helps. If I had a magic wand that could fix 3 things about your skin, what would that be? The cooking thing, is it cosmetics? How can you make their lives easier and serve them through the products that you have? And you have to have a conversation with them to find that out. It's a lot easier than just throwing everything out there and seeing what sticks against the wall. Building desire for your product, like before and afters are really very powerful, but as a service, as something that as a solution to a product. So you can add value through education in your group, on your page, on your personal profile, on Twitter, on wherever you are. You can do this. People love recipes. So particularly if you're in the food business, I would share recipes. You want to establish yourself as a go-to person in whatever you do. You want to be the expert. Skincare tips, makeup trends, makeover tips, health tips. One of the best groups I'm in is a wellness group, and I think she sells vitamins and I don't know what all. Actually, I don't know what all healthy things, but she shares such great content, self-care things. Like not too long ago, she's selling vitamins, nutritional things, but she shared how to dry brush before you get in the shower and why it's so important for stimulation and exfoliation. That really doesn't help her sell anything, but it's a really great tip. So I stay in the group because the content is so valuable. So look at what are you pulsing out in your group, and is it really valuable information to people enough to make them stick around and engage and like and comment on things that lead back to your business, just besides games and stuff like that. Next, we want to shine our light, be the sunshine, right? Be a ray of positivity in communication, on post, on social media posts, so that people think, oh, she's always so happy and always so positive, and I always look forward to your posts. You're on Monday or whatever. Become their go-to person, as I said before, and whatever you do, you want to be the go-to. When they think skincare, they think your name. When they think jewelry, they think of you. You're their person. And then shine your light, stay shiny. Don't let the no's and the setbacks dim your light. People are going to tell you no. It's just part of the process. You're going to get as many no's as you're going to get yeses. You're probably going to get more no's than you're going to get yeses. That's just sales. That's the way it is if you sell cars, if you sell houses, if you wait tables and offer everyone dessert, half the people are going to tell you no. That's just the way life works. And finally, we've got to tend our garden. Really, really get in there and remove the weeds. And this reminds me of the parable of the sower so much, where he talks about some of the seed was sown on rocky ground and or thorny ground, and the little tares came up and choked out the, the little burgeoning um, plant. And this is exactly what happens in your garden. These are the things that hold you back. What chokes your garden out is between your own two ears. It's the self-doubt, it's the fear of failure, it's you saying to yourself, I can't do this, it's never going to work, I'm never going to be like her, I'm never going to be as successful as them. It's all of those little tears that really hurt our business and hold us in place and keep us from the ultimate success that we deserve and that we are capable of. We want to replenish that soil, fertilize it from time to time, and we do that through great team meetings. If your organization runs great meetings that lift you up and fill you up and get you excited, you want to attend those. You have to. They're like life in a business like this. If your team meetings don't make you feel that way, I would find a substitute. It really depends. Motivational speakers, things like that I'm doing today, surround yourself with positive people who believe in your dreams. Be careful who you share your dreams with. Everyone isn't going to say, "Oh my gosh, that's wonderful," and you can do it. You're going to have people tell you that you can't do it. That it's a pyramid scheme and whatever. So be careful who you share your dreams with. But hang out with positive people who believe in what you want and what you're building. There's books and podcasts and CDs and tapes, but you want to fill your day full of positive messages, not negative news, not negative things on Facebook or sad stories or whatever, Lifetime movies, things that are positive that elevate you and motivate you and inspire you. All of these things together will help you have a garden in full bloom this season and every season. So I hope those tips are helpful. And I want to close with a reminder that flowers do not compete with each other, they just bloom. So stop comparing yourself to everyone else, start showing up, and trust the season that you're in your business. And then we'll pause and take a few questions.